Chat, does anybody know what we're doing today? It's in the title, solo breakdown. Yes, we're just gonna do this. All right, here's where this all starts. You may recognize this album artwork and you may recognize the title of the first song here. This project from 2023 that I made under a different artist name is where solo started. So you can hear how different it is. Crazy, right? And then if we go into the verse, right? Or the first drop.
I'm free and it's getting late. Like, you should make a change for me, cause it rock your world if you'd only
That's mad different, bro.
Baby, I got what you need. She said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no, darling, that's a low blow. I know you got a man's, but I would love to see you.
Yeah, that's where solo started. I no longer go by CJ Kaika. I used to ask people to call me CJ. That was part of where that name came from. You guys can call me CJ if you want, but nah, it's just Sky now.
Yo, quick editor's note. I know my face is lagging out in this. I fixed it like right after the stream. It's a bummer it fucked up all the footage, but this is the first video I've made since I was like 15, so they'll get better with time. They'll get a lot better.
Anyway, so fast forward almost 2 years. I find the solo acapella and I drag it into Ableton. I like set it to 128 and I'm like, let me do something with this. So
No, darling, that's
this is about where I start.
I know you got a man's, but I would love to see you solo. The way your body moves.
So this is like the first chorus, right? And the next thing that I do is I open up Serum and I cook up this pattern. So yeah, let's take a look at what's going on here. I'm gonna make these presets available. I started with this, which is just one of the basic shapes. Like it's just this modified square, and I don't even know the name for this. Kind of annoying. There's also this filter automation on it, which you can see is controlled by one of these LFOs. And then I added another. So this is a triangle wave, and this one's actually like an octave and a seventh up. And there you can kind of hear it start to add that very housey texture. Going through the effects, I basically just slapped effects on here. And a lot of these you'll see they're linked to some of these LFOs. It's kind of just to give it like a little bit of punch and attack so that when that lead actually triggers a note, it hits a lot harder and then it kind of falls into the background and stabilizes. And you'll see it even more with the second lead that I made. So there's hyper. Not using much of the dimension at all, but you can see, or is it LFO 1? Yeah, you can see that the dimension effect mix is actually being triggered there at the start as well. Okay, and then I added chorus, which adds just like a little bit of stereo processing. I don't know, it doesn't add much. Then there's this low cut EQ, and then there's a compressor. Just makes the different frequency ranges more equally present, shall we say. I will put that one up on the Patreon. Join the Patreon if you want to support what I do. So moving on to the next one, I literally just took that original Serum patch that I made and I added some sauce to it. I didn't change anything in the wavetables. But if we go over to the effects, you'll see there are now some extra effects. Let's go up to chorus and hyper. So you can hear that's kind of the same thing. And then you add in an EQ, and this has a notch. You can hear that gives it a little bit of character. And then I think this is where it starts getting really crazy. You have the comb filter. Yeah. And so you can see the comb filter, the cutoff of it actually moves around with the note that you're playing in the MIDI. Then there was distortion that we added here using the Stompbox preset, or Stompbox style. And then there's the same multiband compression at the end. Presets available on the Patreon. After I had that lead, I think the next thing that I did was add some drums to the chorus. But I think what I actually want to do is go to the start and then work through the song sequentially. So we're going to go through the intro first, then the verse and how it builds. We're going to talk about the chorus and then the second verse and then the outro. So the song starts.
She said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no.
No instrumental, just all vocals.
Flirting, I said.
And then you come in with these chord stabs. And I wish I could tell you what sound that actually is. I don't know. It was a Serum that got bounced and then I think it got deleted. So maybe we don't have that sound anymore. But basically, I know you can look at the waveform, right? And you can see that there's, here, let me make it even bigger. Whoa, maybe not that big. You can see that the delay was on the track and frozen into it. Okay, yeah, let's see what the processing is. Okay, I guess we're starting off with the low cut. It makes a slight sonic difference. Don't low cut if you don't need to. Then we've got a 1176 after that. Really slamming the compression. Look at that VU meter moving. Stock OTT after that. Always use the stock OTT. I saw an instance of the third-party OTT in here. Don't do that. Then we got Gullfoss. You're gonna see this a lot. This is like the not-so-secret sauce. Woo! Gives it a little bit of sparkle. It's kind of, for those of you who know the Fresh Air plugin, this is kind of reminiscent to me of the Fresh Air, but in perhaps a more gentle way. And then you can see just at the end of that chain there, we're giving it 4 decibels of gain. So I think if you go down here as well, right to the track below, this is where it gets interesting. This is that same thing, not edited and reversed. Okay, there is cool stuff going on in here. Oh, hold on. So you can see we have the same Gullfoss preset, we have the same OTT, and we have the same gain boost. We got the shaper box. You can see that it's synced, and the rate is not controlled by a multiple of the BPM, but it's controlled by something that's automating the speed in hertz. And so you can see the speed ramp right here. And if you look at the cycles on the graph, you can see it starts to speed up very rapidly there. And that's where you get that LFO effect going between the different channels. Kind of cool stuff. Then what I do is I add in this bass. And if you look at the spectrogram here, it's this. Look at how low that note is. And then you can see that swell come up there. We got a sub. There it is. So you can see it's got some transients to it. Ooh, that hits. She said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no, just show me your toes, bro. Get that guy out of my chat, bro. Somebody ban that fucking guy. Mods! All right, so we got the sub, and then we have a little layer. And if we take a look at what filter 1 is doing, it looks like the cutoff of filter 1 is being automated by the envelope. So you get a little bit of punch. Here's another cool thing about this. This is actually a saw wave, just with the bottom fundamental taken out. What that allows you to do is layer them together very easily and have a version of the sub that is just the lowest fundamental. And then we have a wavetable that is the rest of the overtones. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that hits. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Let's take out the bass and the effects. You have this.
Yeah, she said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no.
We have a bounced version of that, and it's just reversed. Little bit of Fab Filter Saturn, give it some saturation. Let's hear without the saturation. Okay, it's a lot cleaner, more low end, a little more low end. Oh, but that makes it rumble more. Then we have a ozone maximizer. Looks like it's just flattening out that last little bit of the reverse transient. And then boom, you have that swell.
Yeah, she said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no.
Okay, boom. That is the intro. Any questions? Where are my toes at? All right, bro, we're definitely moving on. Does your ass jiggle when you walk? Are we serious? You know it does. Come on now. You know I got that BBL. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the verse. First thing I laid down in the verse is going to be these synths right here. Okay, actually, this is not the verse. This is the hook. I forgot how it's structured out because I don't have labels. I don't have markers. I am learning a lot about things that I need to do better right now. I am learning a lot. This is a very educational experience. It's good we're doing this. First thing I did in this, you can see obviously I added this envelope to it, so it has a little bit of punch, decays, little bit of release, just like a touch, almost like plucky, right? And it's just a sine wave. Then I do the same technique again. I go up an octave and then up a perfect fifth. And that's where you get that classic sound. And you can see the two fundamentals right there and right there. And then there's a little bit of chorus just to give it some sauce. And that's the whole Serum preset. That is literally the whole thing. And we'll save that one. Looks like we're doing a gentle low cut. That way we don't get too much sub bass out of this, because it does have that lower fundamental tone. Like you can see it's dropping down to about, 75, 80 hertz there on the low notes. Then we're bringing in a compressor, 1176. This is just to make it a lot more present. I think this is where a lot of the harmonic change comes in. We have a saturator. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can hear it's adding those extra harmonics. Then we got this. All this is doing is it's one band of stereo widening. That's with the off. That's on. At the end of that, we just have a Goldfoss. All right, boom. So then we build into actually where the first verse starts here. We have that same up filter.
I can't let you go. First time that I saw you with your mans, I tried to fight it, tried to bend.
But this time we also have a down filter coming out of it. So whereas over here, you kind of build up.
Are you flirting? I said no, no.
It's like a little fake
That's
out.
a low blow.
This time you build up.
I can't let you go. First time that I saw you with your mans, I tried to fight it, tried to bury it inside.
And you let it release. So you've built that expectation before, and then you actually act on it 8 bars later. There's this little loop that comes in here, little drum loop that comes in to support it. We have Goldfoss on the tame mode, and then we have a Pro Q4 doing some tone shaping. You don't need to be doing all that. Like, if there is something that demands it, absolutely go for it. Like, especially on vocals, doing that much processing, I can understand because your brain has the most like auditory processing dedicated to understanding vocals out of like any other instrument, right? Even if you're a producer, you're still going to be like usually best at comprehending vocals, unless you're like really neurodivergent, in which case, you know, all bets are off, right? Okay, next lead. I think this one is one of my favorite ones that I made in this song. So if you listen, we go through this build
First
up.
time that I saw you with your mans, I tried to fight it, tried to bury it inside me, tried to keep it
You
on
have this
the
little bit of thickness that comes in here. Let's take all of these effects off and let's look at what is going on in the Serum preset. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, this is fucking heat. This is so heat. And this is a great example too. So you can see this is definitely copied and pasted from like some of those other like house style bell synths that I made. But you have that ADSR that looks like this. So it's like kind of plucky. And you start with this square wave. And the thing that makes it special is you have this unison of 2 with like no detune. Ooh. Ooh. So again, we're doing the thing where we go up an octave and then up a fifth, and you get that bell sound. Let me take off the down sample. Oh, other thing I forgot to point out, the filter automation. The ADSR is controlling the filter. All right, so then we add that down sample distortion, bit crushing. Ooh, that's nice. Let's look at the plugin chain. First thing we have Pro Q4, low cut and a little bit of a high cut. Next thing we've got 1176. You can see some of those notes are a little bit louder than others. It's just taming that down. Then we've got this Saturn, and the band drive is automated. Yeah, you can see that drive is increasing. Oh, we got a not stock OTT. It's barely doing anything. It's like imperceptible. We have some auto panning that kicks in, I guess, halfway through. Yeah, it kicks in right here. Look at this. Next thing we've got an EQ. And then right after that, we have an auto filter that's going to bring it in over time. Let's brush over these other presets real quick. This is just a layered analog lab. So you can see this is pitched up a perfect fifth and it's doing it via the MIDI. I didn't do anything to this preset. You guys can copy this directly if you have Analog Lab Pro. So there's that one. This one looks like it's the same thing, but it's an octave down, same thing. So it's just creating an octave layer that is shifted up a fifth using a dedicated instrument to create perfect fifth layer. Then there's a little low cut and a glue compressor. So you can hear how it layers with like the other thing. It adds this nice little bit of presence to it. This looks very similar to that bass that we have in the intro there. I'm gonna take all the effects off so we can break this down a little bit better. No effects on the Serum. This is the same bass. This is the same preset. Okay, that's the solo intro bass. A little bit of different processing though, it looks like. We have a low cut. We don't wanna bring the low end in until the chorus. We have a compressor. It's working pretty hard too. A lot of gain reduction, distortion. Again, the original OTT. Going directly into the Ableton stock OTT. We have a little bit of multiband compression down here. It was sort of like I had the sound that I wanted in my head and I was just tweaking parameters until it sounded right. So then those instruments with the vocals gonna sound like
Go like, whoa, okay. I've seen you walk around this place from inside US with a slim little waist. I promise I'm more than a pretty face, plus baby I'm free and it's getting late. Like, you should make a change for me, cause I'd rock your world if you'd only leave him. Like, baby I got what you need. She said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no.
So you can hear there's a lot of room to add some riser elements in there, which we have this same swell from the intro. And then we have a drop. Oh, I know how that one was made. So it's on the complex pro warp mode, automating the pitch. We're starting at plus 24 semitones. We're hitting the root and then we're going down 12. And it's running through the same effects chain as the intro. Holy yapathon. This is going to be so fun. My first time editing a video in like 7 years. It's 2 hours of footage. Okay, let's get back to it. Look at that spectrogram, dude. Looks insane. Okay, as far as this section goes, I think the only thing we have left to talk about are the filters and the drums. As far as filters go, it is so run-of-the-mill. It is just up filter in, down filter out, a little bit of crowd noise, and then this tonal riser here. And you can see the fundamentals in the spectrogram. All right, let's move on to the drums. Wow. That is a basic pitch loop. It sounds good though. This first track here is just a sidechain track. It's routing to a bunch of instances of kickstart. And then here's where we have an actual kick sample. Shout out to Turducken for this sample. Got a filter on it. You can see it's doing a low cut. And then as we build into the drop, that actually drops down. I took out a lot of the top end too, because I wanted this to be like a very soft sounding kick, because the kicks that come in the chorus are smacking. Then there's just some distortion on it. A little bit of tape, saturation, a little bit of transient shaping to give it a little bit of extra punch. Kind of just turning it up, to be honest. And that's the kicks. There's the claps. It's just a few claps layered together. I also got all these from Turducken. Shout out Duckin, man. He's the GOAT. Claps sound like this. A little bit of reverb on them. And then there's just this splice loop. Yay! That's how we get the verse.
Me tried to keep it on the low, but see now you excited me, and once I felt my stomach drop, I knew that I'd do anything to give your love a go. Like, whoa, okay. I've seen you walk around this place from inside US with a slim little waist. I promise I'm more than a pretty face, plus baby I'm free and it's getting late. Like, hey, you should make a change for me, cause I'd rock your world if you'd only leave him. Like, baby I got what you need. She said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no, darling, that's a low blow.
Boom! All right, this is where we get into the drop. We already talked about the drop a lot. I broke down these leads. Let's talk about the 808. There's a frozen sample from 808 Cooker, and the reason for that is that I had to extend the 808 that I wanted, so I actually like printed it out, and then I like chopped it up and manually looped it together, and then I bounced that, consolidated it, and then I threw it into a sampler. So then you get this 808. That 808 only plays in that initial drop section. And then you go into the traditional EDM bass. Here's where we can talk about what's going on in the chorus, in this full drop section. I'm gonna play this through, and then we're gonna go break down some elements.
I won't lie, I'm crazy about her, miss her every day. See her every night inside my dreams till I awake. He got to you first, I can't believe that I was late. Pray that one day in the future you will see the honor my fate. In time we should let me know.
On this bass MIDI, it's pretty much the same MIDI, just copied over. The only thing that's different about this is that some of those high notes, I just shifted them down an octave. So you have these notes here, and these are some of my favorite notes in the pattern. Woo! So we have this fill going into it. See what we got here. No changes to the ADSR whatsoever. Just a sine wave. It's hitting nice. I guess I just made a custom wave with some harmonics. I bet you I just opened this up, cleared everything out, and then just like drew in these harmonics. Then there's just a little bit of distortion on it to give it even more like character. We're gonna save that one. So yeah, the magic is happening afterwards. Okay, we've got this spectral sidechain that's ducking out the kick frequencies. Just duck out those specific frequencies. Makes everything nice and clean. Now we got a split effects rack. We've got a saturator on one. You can feel that's adding, I mean, mostly gain, but then some harmonics as well. All right, then we have this chain called dist, and it's turned down negative 18 decibels. First thing we got in the chain, kilohertz phase distortion. That's without. Ooh! We got the saturator after that, giving it 17 decibels of gain into an analog clip. We've got an OTT, really making it sound like a blown out subwoofer. And then we've just got a low cut EQ. That way you can mix it with the saturator signal. That is sounding nice. And I remember that for a while, there wasn't any sauce on the bass. That was something I did towards the final couple sessions on this song, is I added that chain in.
I won't lie, I'm crazy about her, miss her every day. See her every night inside my dreams till I awake. You got to you first, I can't believe it.
Heat! We got some sound effects. This is copy paste. It is literally copy paste. Last thing we got is these drums. Drums. Woo! All right, let's take a look at what we got going on with the drums. We got this kick. Ooh. Neutron transient shaper. Looks like it's really just turning it up. Ozone low end control, giving it some nice punch. Okay, there's tape saturation on the mid-range and the high end. Oh yeah, Clipper giving it a little bit of transient punch. Shout out BSA Clipper, man, that shit's fire. We have 5 clap layers. We've got that same loop that I've talked about already. These are just splice loops, dude. These are deadass just splice loops. Splice loops that I admittedly have chopped them up, right? I have chopped them up in position the more I want to, but they are splice loops. We've got these extra 909 cymbals. This one's auto panning back and forth. We've got a crash in here to accent the drums. And then a little reverse back into the actual crash. And that's the whole drums. There's a little bit of bus processing on the drums themselves. There's a saturator in analog clip mode. There's Goldfoss Master. So you can see it's adding some sauce. You can take it off, you hear it sounds like a little flatter. You add it back in. A little bit more punch, a little bit more dynamics. Then you got a little transient shaper. Add a little bit of punch back. There is a little bit of room reverb on the drum bus too. Fun little fact. All right, let's go into the second verse. We're getting close to the end here. We've kind of just got the second verse to talk about. Most of this is copy paste. There's a little bit of an outro section. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm a goober. This is what I wanted to show you guys. All the automation. I started learning how to DJ before I did the final sessions for these songs, and I was like, what if I put some transition effects in these? So you can hear I have a flanger and an auto filter. And then same thing over here too. Let's get to this section. This is the Silent Hill section.
In time, she let me know I'm a fiend for X and O's. Got me tense with the way she steps, yeah, the way she moves, putting on her show. Walks on by, she makes me glow. Brand new smiles to her, I owe. On in love with a girl.
All right, this section is pretty much just this tonal riser, the other riser. We have that thing, and then it layers in with the other sections. Oh, I added gunshots. Had to do it to him. And then it's just a copy and paste of the verse drums. Over here is where it gets interesting. We have a little halftime section that comes in.
Life do me like that, out of my reach, but I want her bad. Late in the night, wonder where she's at. Just give me a chance, that's all I ask. She should make a change for me, cause I rock her world.
All right, check this out. Only thing we add is a stomp that layers with a kick, and we just kind of change with the pattern. We also bring in this clock ticking, which I believe is also in the intro, and I never talked about it. Or not the intro, the verse. Got this little trap hi-hat. We've got this clip of my friend Kiernan from 2019 saying woo in Discord. Bit crushed, of course. Next L chirp.
Life do me like that, out of my reach, but I want her bad. Late in the night, wonder where she's at.
And everything else is just the same. We go into this final section here at the end of the verse.
She should make a change for me, cause I rock her world. She only leave her. like, baby, I got what you need. She said, CJ, are you flirting? I said, no, darling.
We just take out a couple leads, bring a couple others back in, just to build right back in.
No, darling,
this section.
Low blow. I know you got a man's, but I would love to see.
Only thing that's different about this is it has the filter on it.
Got my butterflies on go mode, and I just need a second of your time, can't let you go. I won't lie, I'm crazy about a miss her every.
And we're back into the drop. Nothing is different about this drop except for
future. You will see the on my face.
We had an outro, and it is just on the instrumental side. It is entirely just the chorus instrumental without the main vocals over it. And we'll talk about the vocals in a second because I think it's important we go back and do that. We're kind of getting towards the end of the breakdown here, which is absolutely fire. We don't have that many things left to talk about. Okay, let's talk about the vocals. We're taking all the effects off and we're just going to go through it. First thing I do on the vocals, of course, Golfos.
Second of your time, can't let you go.
Keep in mind, these were mixed in like, I'm not even gonna talk about this. Let's just say it was an inoptimal environment.
But I would love to see you solo. The way your body moves.
You can see the date.
Butterflies on go mode, and
9/11, 2023. And the EP came out on the 15th. It's my birthday. Add some Golfos to it.
But I would love to see you
immediately sounds better.
The way your body moving got my butterflies on go mode, and I just need a second of your time.
Yeah, so whenever I listen to house or EDM songs, I swear there's so many vocals that have this like scoopy sound to them, and so that's why there's this shape with the EQ. Okay, we got the glitch effects.
Future, you will see the on my face. In time, we should let me.
Boom. Let's look at what's happening. We got a volume LFO and a panning LFO, and the rates are synced.
Future, you will see the on my face. In time, we should let me know.
Moving on, we have just a little bit of dynamic control. This is cool here. This is a mid-side split 1176 chain. I have isolated the mid channel here, so everything that is fully stereo correlated.
Pray that one day in the future you will see the.
And we have a 1176. Its controls are being controlled by these macros here over on the left. And then we have the side signal fully isolated. Same 1176, or just a different instance. So we're compressing the mid and the side independently.
Pray that one day in the future you will see the on my face.
It gives it this really nice stereo image. It's so nice, dude. We got Soothe.
Pray that one day in the future.
We have an auto filter here. It just cuts out a little bit of low end on the transitions. Yeah, here it is.
He got to you first, I can't
little subtle cut, but it does do something cool. Boom. That's the vocals, except for this little thing at the end here. Basically, this is just isolating this little delay throw at the end. And you can hear it's reversed there, going to the next ones, and that just layers with the outro. And boom, that's pretty much the whole song. I'm making the executive decision. We're not gonna go into like the nitty gritty mixing stuff. I will say all that I have here as far as sends is that I have just a Valhalla vintage verb. After that is a soothe that's just taking out the pre-signal. So it's just taking out pretty much everything that's coming in before the reverb kicks in. And it's the same thing with the room reverb and the delay. All right, that is how I made solo Twoskys version. Thank you everybody for sticking with me. This is my first time, number one, doing a breakdown of a track on a video. Number two, recording a video on stream. And number three, doing this in this specific format. You guys get what I'm trying to say. This song has been out for like a month and I haven't really promoted it. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Go show it to your friends. It's fire. This video is going to be going up on the Patreon first. That's going to be the extended cut of the video. It'll have everything that is relevant. I'm also going to include all of those presets that we exported from the Patreon. Last thing, chat, what should everybody watching the video do? Somebody say it. Oh, hell no. Eat a sandwich. Okay. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single upload. Maybe come watch the Twitch streams live on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and TikTok. Okay. All right, we're ending the recording there.